I don't think recording is needed for this.
Yeah. So this is the training for CISM, and this is training for, you know what, all those guys who are working on a security manager profile. And this is the week 1 schedule, and this is week 2 schedule, this is week 3 schedule, and this is the week 4 schedule here. Okay. And then we have all those the domain information, which is right now you can see that. And then we have session is 12 to 2 session will be going on. This is the alternative session, like you can just in a week we have 4 number of days where I'm going to be provide the training, and all those syllabus going to be covered same time. Okay, this is part A, this is part B, and then in this domain 2 we have part A, this is part B, and in the domain 3 we have part A, we have part B. Okay, so I have just differentiate the two things like part A, part B, because we have lots of things to be covered. Okay, I'm just going to go for the things, and this is part A, this is part B will be there, right? So if you have going to the second things, we have all those lessons we're going to be covered into the same. Okay, and this is the training for those guys who are certified security manager going to become for the future perspective, and they are preparing for the same year. Okay, so there's a higher level management course, you can say that, so that you guys going to get the high salary packages, and then you're going to working as a manager in the company. This is third domain, we can say that, and this is fourth domain, right? So I have just update each and every topic so that even there is no topic going to be misplaced, I would say that. And this is the third season thing. So you can, what are the things we're going to be established, like we're going to do some framework, like we're going to do security program like matrix. We have some information security, risk management things, risk response mitigation things, so that we are going to be how to establish, how to maintain, how to install, how to maintaining it. All those things are the part of it, right? And the fourth things, if you, sir, what is the agenda of the training? Okay, so in this agenda of the training, if you are going to say, this is all those topics which you're going to, I'm going to be covered all those theoretical logical concepts. Okay, like you guys are new to the CISM course, and you need to, hey, what is security awareness training, what is the risk management, what are the governance? Okay, so first of all, I would want to cover all those theoretical concepts, the logical concept, why it is happened, what is the use case, what is the requirement, right, in the companies. The, the second things, we're talking about some practical things, like we're talking about some templates, we're talking about some reports, we talking about some architecture and designs, right? So what is architecture? What is the design? How to create a report? What are the templates? Like I would say, hey, you're going to create a risk management framework. You're going to create a risk register. You're going to create a risk assessment report. And suppose you're going to submit a risk like we're going to submit a change management proposal in the companies. Okay, so it is all about practical training. It's all about the templates I'm going to providing to you guys, and then you need to submit some reports, creating architecture, designs, and blueprints. And the third thing is use cases in many company. Okay, like which companies are going to working this type of things. I'm just talking about some real-time use cases, scenarios, like implementation, migration, deployment of the technologies, I would say that, right? I would talking about all those things into the training. The fourth thing is I'm talking about some case studies, real-time case studies. I was talking about what are the case studies, which companies are adopted, what are the challenges in the companies they are going to facing it. So this is all those real-time things will be covered. And assignments, you can say that after you have understand all those concept things, we're talking about some assignments, and then scenario-based questions gonna asking to you, hey, this is the company, we have 500, 600 number of users. What exactly you are going to deployment, like security awareness training, how to doing the risk assessment things, what are the security program you're gonna be implemented into the companies, and so on there. And the sixth thing is interview questions and answers we're going to be covered, so that those guys are going for interviews, going for the jobs perspective, they're going to be cover all those things. And then we have CISM, practice questions, exams, scenario-based questions, all those things are the part of it. Yes, if you have any questions, you're going to ask, and then I'm going to move further.
Yeah, thank you. Primarily as a manager, so I worked as a manager for almost 4 to 5 years. So primarily that we as a managers used to do is that we have to work on the master service agreements, SOWs, and things like that. The contractual documents, basically. The SO. So are we trying to cover any one of them over here?
Yes, definitely. It is the part of it because
Okay,
you're talking about some
contracts.
third contracts and third party risk management, TPRM, right?
No, no, no,
So,
no, no, no.
so
For,
this, yeah.
No, see, if at all I'm actually assigned a project, right?
Okay.
So each and every particular project, meaning as an audit for the audit purposes, so we have some contractual requirement obligations, right? Contractual obligations as well as uh, meaning the industry, whatever they are working for, or the company level. So they have a lot of what do you say requirements to meet. For example, if they are having some meaning, as you know, contract has various areas where we have to actually meet the requirements. So, are you trying to show some dummy contract or something like that, and
Yes,
trying
yes,
to
definitely.
give us some kind of insights about it?
Yes, dear, definitely. Because the NDR and all those contractual things, yes, I'm going to be covered because the thing is, because if you are a security manager, suppose your company is going to migrate it to the cloud, okay, like AWS, Azure, whatever, and
Yeah.
then you have different contractual things will be happening on the cloud vendor, I would say that, right? So same time you have to contact to the vendor, hey, this is what the responsibilities from the cloud vendor side, and what is the responsibility from the cloud receiver, like you guys are going to receive the cloud like AWS Azure, so customer side and also the cloud vendor side, both things have to be covered. So what are the differentiate and what are the key important things you need to be considered while you're going to do some agreements and all those contractual things we're talking about here. So yeah, it is a part of it. Yeah, this is good things that I'm going to be cover, so everyone going to be understand all those different type of use cases, case studies, and then this is contractual things. That is a part of it here. Okay, and what are the security requirement? What are the auditing requirements? Suppose somebody is going to do IT audit, right? So that they have seen some contractual things to the vendor versus your company. Okay, so what are the key things you will like to take a look same time? This is all those things are the part of it. Okay, so we are just talking about here that hey, we just going to be cover all those theoretical concept, practical things, case studies, all those things. And once we talking about here, like that what are the documents we have, what are the basically how we going to be planning to going to studies sort of things. So everything, the document, everything will we have available. If you're going to go to my Google Drive link, you're going to getting all those materials, everything from here, from my documents point of view. Like we have some CISM document, and then you're going to getting all those documentation things. I'm just going to providing to you so that you are going to go to each and every document will be there, right? And in this document, what are the most important things? I would say that like we're talking about all those conceptual things, logical things, what the implementation governance is all about, importance of risk assessment sort of things. And we have different type of books available. Okay, so we're just going to go all those books. And then most important is like what are the practice questions, the test. Okay, so that's like we have covered one domain, and then same time we have all those questions, practice test question will be available. Okay, so you guys going to get the practice same time, sir. If you're going to appearing to the examinations, then you have lots of question will be available, so you're going to do practice same time. Okay, and then we have different type of books you can available, you can say that. And suppose somebody required some cheat sheets, or you can say required some mind map sort of things, so all those cheat sheets will be available. Like what are the questions are very very important, and once you going to the company, what are the questions they're going to be asking, and once you are working in a company, then what exactly things you need to be keep in mind once you working on the same company sort of things. Okay, so we have lots of documentation available, right? We have lots of exam dumps will be available, and most importantly is we have all those use cases available, like information security governance point of view. We have some use cases Like I'm going to asking a question, risk assessment and management point of view. So a financial institution needs to identify and mitigate risk associated with the online transactions. Okay, so we have some use cases. Suppose what are the risk in the financial company? Okay, for identify and mitigate the risk associated with online transactions, you can say that. Like in the banking sector, insurance sector, or any different companies where the transactions are going on. So suppose you are working as a security manager in the company, like so governance applications like conduct regular assessment to identify potential threats and vulnerabilities. So first of all, you need to understand the regular risk assessment. What are the risk assessment? What are the steps of the risk assessment? And second thing, how to identify the potential threats. So you need to understand what are the threats inside the same. Okay, and the vulnerabilities will be there. So what is the difference between the threats and the vulnerabilities? What are the risk assessment? Okay, and how to identify all those things and develop risk mitigation strategies to monitor effectiveness of this controls, you can say that, right? So we have some use case available. Suppose you guys working in a company, and we have one of the use case will be there. How to react on the use cases, how to work on the use cases. This is what the practical exposure is most important. So my uh, intention basically is to providing all those use cases, case studies, which is practically working in a company basically. So you guys are working in a company, and suppose you are in the situation where you're going to get some all those use cases will be coming same time. So how do you react? How, what are the things you're going to be talking to your management? How do you talking to your people? And how do you know what type of task you going to do performing into the companies? Like one of the tasks I would say that security awareness training is a big problem in the companies. So suppose you guys are working in a company, and one question that, hey, how do you providing a security awareness training in the company? Like, hey, so lots of we have phishing emails will be coming in the company, and social engineering attacks will be happening it. So how do you awareness to the people? That is one very, very important aspect. So as a security manager, you're accountable, responsible to providing security implementation in the company. So it is can be, you can say, sir, we're going to security controls, you're going to providing it, IT auditors, you can help to the companies, you're going to provide some security trainings to the company, and so on here. There are so many different type of things, I would say that. So a company aims to enhance employee awareness regarding phishing attacks and social engineering attacks. So governance application point of view, develop a comprehensive security awareness program. So, sir, what is a security awareness program? What are things we're going to be considered? And you can say sometimes that I'm working as a security awareness training team, and I need to send an email to employees every month, quarterly. And sometimes I need to providing a training to the employees. So what are the things I would like to consider? Sir, PowerPoint presentation is the best choice. We can going to provide some budget questions to the employees. And what other tasks I can going to provide to uh, security awareness training providing to the employees. That is the things that will be coming. So training sessions will be there. You can say simulating phishing exercise, communications campaigns, monitor and measure effective the program over time. You can say that. So I have worked more than 15 years in the industry right now, and I have lots of things, expand my experience, lots of challenges in the company here. So that is why the CSM is a security manager profile. Okay, you are working as a security manager in a company, and lots of peers and company management will take a look for you. Hey, what are your jobs, accountability, responsibility you're going to doing it? So we're talking about some this is separate things we have, like what are the roles and responsibilities we have. Things will be available. I'm gonna showing it here. Like we have separate things will be available. Like, hey, um, can see information security, we have organization structure and roles and responsibilities. So what are the roles and responsibilities of the employees, the business executives, the governance like top management people? Okay, and what are the legal regulatory compliances, contractual requirements is all about, organization culture point of view. So like one of the example organization culture structure we're talking about here. So we have organization structure. So who's going to reporting what? Top management to lower management to top management, how the decision making will be happening it. Okay, and suppose any crisis will be happening in the company, how the things will be going on. Okay, the second thing I'm talking about, sir, we are going to creating some policies, standards, framework, right? we're going to talking about some standard policies and guidelines in the companies. So who's going to creating the standards, guidelines, and what are the difference between the all those things? What are the policies is all about, right? So policy is going to create by the executives. It is approved by the top management, and then how to create the policies. So suppose I'm gonna say, hey, you want to create some password change management policies. You're going to database policies, network policies, how it look like, how to reporting things will be there. So all are the things, very, very important things I'm going to be covering to the same side, that you are awareness about all those things. I would say that. So what I can do, I just going to send you some templates regarding the same, like change management templates and so on, right? So that you are going to fill up this templates and send to me, and you're going to be getting, hey sir, what are the different type of reports we're going to be creating into the same, and so on there. So I have lots of different type of templates will be available in my Google Drive. I'm going to sending it like risk assessment point of view and standards, policies, frameworks, and what are the major differences all about. So I have a question to you guys, like, is there anyone that have you ever created any policies till the time? And do we require any financial things to the company to providing a policy? I would say that, hey, we require the policies in the company. Do we have any financial costing for the policies or free of cost? And what are the things in the policies? I would say that. Yeah, anyone? Yes, sir. Tell me anything.
I didn't get your question clearly.
Okay, no problem. I'm talking about here, we need to create a policy in the company, right?
Yeah.
So who's going to creating the policy first of all? First, who is going to approving the policies? And do we need to investing some money to the policy, or it's a free of cost in the
Yeah,
company?
I can answer it.
Yeah.
So primarily, see, there are two things. Are you trying to create a policy for a project or for the company itself? So company as a policy, I have never done it because it is the role of CISO and his team, right? So we are basically, I basically work for projects where each and every projects, for example, I worked for IBM almost for 10 years. So when I work for a project, so what has happened is we have to build, see, initially we used to do a gap analysis and identify what all the processes and policies they have, right, and
Yes.
compare it to the with IBM. So for example, as a company, if you wanted to understand, so and try to check whether they have the policies in place, and if they do not have, we'll raise a gap and help them with the policy templates which we already have it. So we are not involved in any kind of a costing, but there should be some kind of a costing which is involved, but that the management will take care of it, meaning at a project level. So that's how it is, meaning I have now there are two different things, to be very precise, one at a project level and one at a company level policies and processes which will affect the total company, but at a project level it is just a miniature thing, meaning it's a subset of the whole company. It is only applicable like the way you work on a subnet, right? That's how it is in a network.
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm just going to add a couple of things, like, okay, so like I'm we talking about some policy, okay? So policy is what is talking about here, what type of control it is all about. Somebody tell me what is the type
Administrative.
of administrative controls, okay? And somebody talking about directive controls, it is right or wrong? Directive controls, because it is
Sorry.
providing, it is going to provide some direction to the management. Directive controls, yeah, it depend, okay, what type of policies we're talking about here. Like we have IT policy, HR policy, finance policy, and so on there. Okay, in the company there are so many different type of policies will be there, we're gonna creating it. Okay, so first of all, there is no costing, okay, in the policies. We can say that suppose the person is working in the company, he's going to be creating as per the experience, the IT policy, password change policy, database policy, anything, the policy is going to be created on the same. Okay, the policy is going to creating by the lower management, anyone, okay, like executives or whosoever is expert into the same, and it is approved by the top management, right? And policy is just talking about here that, hey, what are the rules and regulations in the company, and they going to be accepted by the lower management or the executives. They're going to following all those things, I would say that, right? So this is the policy. So we have one thing to understand here, we have policy, and the thing is there is no costing will be there. We have different type of policies will be there. And suppose I would say how to create a policy, and we have different type of templates available. And suppose in that, if you will not find any templates, then I can say that we have specific way. Hey, what is the purpose of the policy? Okay, who's going to part scope of the policy you're going to providing, and so on here. Okay, we have lots of different type of things, I would say that, into the thing. And suppose you're talking about some IT password change policy template you want, and then you're going to get, hey, what are the different type of techniques. So we have some standard format of the policy, but we're gonna be modify. We can going to be change as per the different companies' point of view. That we can say that, right? So the scope definition, we have some who's going to approving authorities, who's going to changing it, who's going to modifying it, the version controlling, all are the fundamental remain same here. There is nothing change into the same, I would say that. So that is what I'm talking about here. So somebody's talking about here, sir, why do we require the things? What is importance of the things? So the thing is, I am talking about here, the first thing is we are going to be creating some security governance, and this governance is going to approving the policy and then spreading to the all those lower management, I would say that. Why? What is the reason behind it? Because I would say the reason is behind that, what are the organizational objectives and what are the security governance aligned with the same. Okay, we have objectives to make a company $5 million company next 5 years. Okay, so what are the direction? Who's going to providing? Like we have security controls providing it, we have policy creating it, we have standard creating it, and so on. We have different type of things we're gonna creating it, and then it is gonna be working to for the company objectives. We're gonna be working so that. So we have this different type of things. You can say that we have information security governance. This is all those things we're going to be discussing in our during the training. Hey, how to develop the uh, gain commitment, senior leadership, what's the governance matrix requirements, selection and creation perspective, how to provide the governance, what are the goals of the governance is all about. So I'm just talking
Mahesh,
about,
can I ask you something?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we develop the policies, is governance committees the one who approve it, or the CISO is the one who approve the policies?
CISO will be going to approve the policies will be there.
Approving the policy.
Yes.
Okay,
CISO is a
thanks.
right person to doing it, but in the governance we have different type of profiles. I would say that, hey, like the top management talking about CTO, CISO, and different profiles. You can say that it's a part of it, but mostly the 99% chance the CISO will be going to approve your policy, because he know that what departments is going to be the same. And once we're talking about some HR head, we have different companies, we have different type of sectors, you can say that. So they are responsible, accountable for the same, I would say that. So this is, we are just going to talking about some governance point of view, sir. What is the governance things? I'm just talking about some all those use cases. Once we're going to study, we're going to get lots of different ideas that, hey, what are the challenges in the companies and how they're going to overcome all those challenges into the same, and how the top management, lower management, they're going to working on the same. So this is the things we're talking about the same, like organization culture point of view, or like become organization structure point of view. So anyone tell me that what are the regulations and contractual requirement and regulatory requirements? Why do we require some legal and regulatory requirements in the companies? And we have different type of fields, right? But different sectors in the companies, and different sector we have different type of regulatory requirements, legal requirements, I would say that. So anyone tell me what are the compliances, regulatory compliances, I would say that, and legal compliances point of view? Any
Legal
ideas?
requirements, Sarbanes-Oxley,
Yeah.
and so they have, if at all we are dealing with some financial data, FISMA or something like that, and if it is healthcare related, HIPAA or high trust common security framework or something like that, or also there. And if it is a GDPR, so each and every particular country, they have their own contractual requirements, as well as it is they are also involved, they are also involving it is also involving legal and regulatory requirements, meaning whenever we sign a whenever a company sign agreement with other company, so the legal requirements are also put into the contract.
Yes, sir.
So in case if they are everything has to be legally binded.
Okay. And one more question, because I'm talking about here, like suppose I'm a IT auditor, lead implementer, lead auditor of ISO 27000, and I have find some discrepancy into the regulatory requirements. So what are the regulatory requirements, discrepancy, you can say that? Like, sir, I am doing ISO 27000, or somebody say, sir, I'm doing HIPAA compliance, and somebody will say, sir, PCI DSS compliance I'm talking about here. So some of the regulatory requirements are not met sometimes, okay, in the audit, during the audit sort of things. And the same thing will be coming to the security manager. You are working as a security manager in the company, and the same discrepancies, okay, NCs, not compliance things, will
So
be
you mean
coming.
to say that you have done a gap assessment and identified few gaps, and how to remediate is what you're asking, right?
Yes, yes, that's what I'm
Okay,
asking.
we follow the simple standard and make it in line. That's it.
Yes, this is a gap assessment. This is the word I'm talking here. Gap assessment is most important, because what are the gaps? Because the thing is here right now, somebody talking about, sir, why we going to do the IT audit? Okay, we have lots of IT, the process in the companies. Okay, so we have three things: we have people, process, and technology, right? People, and then we're talking about some process, and then we have technologies. So suppose this is all those very, very important factor in the companies. I would say that there are so many different type of process gaps. Okay, there are gaps. That is why we're going to do some IT audit. Okay, whatever. Okay, IT audit, you can say finance audit, whatever you can say that. Mostly I would say that. Okay, and we have lots of, once we're going to doing it, the IT audit. Okay, we're just talking about what are the gaps in the companies. Okay, what are the gaps in the process I'm talking about here. So gap analysis, we're going to doing it. Okay, what are the gap in the processes, I would say that, and then we can say that, hey, this is SOA, statement of applicability, will be coming same time. Statement of applicability, it means, sir, what type of compliance regulatory things are applicable to the company. If there is no gaps, there is no requirement of the IT audit or anything, compliance would be there, but always be gaps in the processes. That is why we can say the sector of the company. Okay, we have different sectors in the companies. Like we can say, sir, we have some IT companies, we have some finance companies, we have some aviation industries, we have some defense sectors, and so on. Dear, we have different sectors of the company, like oil and gas. You can say that, like we have some hospitals, industries. Okay, so we have this different type
I
of.
have one point to add over here,
Yeah,
sir.
please.
So usually it is not always the standard. It is not always against the standard that we do an audit. So most of the times they might actually meet the ISO or any other internal standards that we, so any other standards. But what happens is usually they fail in the contractual requirements. They do not
Yes.
even open the SOW or MSA. So what
Yes.
happens is once in a blue moon, say like every 3 years or 4 years, in case if they have to sign a agreement or something like that with the client, so obviously then the new contracts will come into the picture, and then when they try to tweak the contract, and then they'll try to understand that many gaps are still not yet filled, meaning not identified, or they're not even taken care of. So usually whenever I did an audit, so these kind of an issues, like I meant to say, a lot of contractual or legal requirements, whatever they have actually stated. So either we have to check whether it applies to us, and basically checking the master service agreement, and also in concurrence to it, just also look into the SOW if it is actually, because the each and every company, say for example Google or Microsoft, so it is actually having an agreement with the company, with our company. So they might have the single MSA for many of the clients, but it is not usually the case that we are doing all their work, right? So we have to understand whether it is actually meaning relating to us, or so we have to get the we have to understand with the client and get a concurrence to it, and just say that as per so and so person's concurrence, we are actually trying to close this point, meaning it is not in not is this is point is not applicable.
Yes, yes. So there are so many different type of use cases are very important. Like client considerations point of view. Sometimes what are the benefits you're going to getting it. Sometimes we're going to find out the gaps into the companies. We're going to find out different type of issues in the companies. That's why we're going to doing it. So my I would say that suppose you are going to working in a company that you have some basic understanding about the HIPAA compliance hospitals. Okay, like we have some PHI, patient healthcare information data, how to secure, how to protect. Okay, like PCI DSS point of view, how to PCI DSS are very important in the company payment card industry point of view, right? You have some basic understanding about, sir, what are the requirement considerations. So like I'm talking about simple thing is, do we require some firewall or not? Okay, so firewall considerations very important, I would say. Okay, like IDS IPS, you should have understanding. You are not doing technical things, but you should have understanding, sir, what is IDS, what is IPS things in the firewall, what is the use case of all those things we're talking about here. Not technical, but you have understandings if it is going to implement it or not implemented. And why I'm going to asking to you, because you are working as security manager in the company. The IT auditor is find out any discrepancy into the same firewall or whatever technologies, and same time you're going to asking to your teammates, hey, do you have implemented the firewall or not? What are the policies? What are the in zone, out zone, trusted, untrusted networks we have? What are the policies you have configured? Have you configured IDS, IPS things inside the same? So as per the PCI DSS compliance, you need to be working on firewall understanding, IDS, IPS, or like I'm talking about MFA multi-factor authentications point of view. Okay, two-factor, three-factor authentications. Basic understanding you should have. I will suggest you just going to understand before going to doing it. Same thing is GDPR, ISO 27000, SOC 2 Type 2, important IDC controls, and so on. This depend on the company to company, what type of regulatory compliance or all those things. So I am just going to cover all those things. Okay, like basic to advanced sort of things, the checklist, the minimum requirement sort of things. I have all those documentation will be available. And once you're going to doing the ISO 27000 audit, what sort of things, how do you take care on the same? And very important thing is like cloud audit. Okay, cloud audit perspective, we have CCM metrics will be there. If you guys are working on the cloud audit, you have CCM metrics will be there. So these metrics, what are the considerations, how to do cloud audit, what are the requirement, this very important things, so that you are going to be answerable at each and every questions in front of you same time, right? So this is we want to be covered into our session as well. Okay, then I'm just talking about some more things like, hey, what are the frameworks? What are the standards? Like we talking about here, like sir, TOGAF is, who do you know TOGAF is best things or not? Have you ever working on TOGAF? Somebody talking about some CORBIT framework, ITL framework? Have anyone talking about some all those things? Any ideas? What all those things?
I worked on ITIL, not Corbett Toga.
Yeah, anyone else? Like TOGAF is open standard here. Like architecture designing, enterprise architecture, my dear friends, right? Like I'm talking about, say, enterprise architecture. I'm talking about application architecture, system architecture, database architecture. How you want to create some architecture, how to create design, how to create some blueprints, sort of things. So that all are the part of the TOGAF. Like suppose I would say you are working as a security manager, and I would like to know what are the migration steps. Okay, migration steps of Office 365. Okay, you want to migrate Office 365. How do you going to create some migrations? Okay. Second thing, suppose you have on-premises IT infra. Okay, like servers, I simply servers to migrate to cloud. AWS, Azure, whatever the cloud I'm talking, not talking about. My intention is here to migrate the things. So what are the migration steps? How do you going to say that, hey, migration things we're going to do smoothly, all those things? However, you are the technical manager in the company. You're basically, you're not going to do technical stuffs, but you need to know how the team is going to working in the company. If they are working right way, wrong way, your direction is very, very important. I would say that. So TOGAF is talking about some all those migration things. I would say that here. The enterprise architecture I'm talking about here. Cloud architecture is I'm talking about here. Designing, I would say that. So the thing is, if I'm talking about some architecture designs, okay. So the thing is, I'm talking about here, sir. Have you ever created some any architecture designs till the time? Anyone? Any type of architecture designs? Like cloud, like you can say, I could say network architecture designs. Have you created like created in the MS Visio or any platform, whatever? And if you yes, then how to create? What are the importance? If you don't have the architecture, then what happened here? Any answer?
Normally, a compliance person might review whether they have a proper architectural design or not, but usually that is the work of a network admin and so network administrator, or sorry, not just a network administrator. I think it is not a compliance job. Meaning, we review whether they have, if they have a requirement, and sometimes we during the audits we used to ask for a network diagram.
Yes, yes. Yes, anyone else? Okay, so the architecture is it's like a flow, how to flow the traffic. Suppose I would like to create a document. I would like to, suppose I'm going here and I would say, hey, we need to understand how the traffic is going to following. Okay, so I'm just going to say AWS database architecture. Okay, design or whatever you can say, diagrams, you can say that. So how do you going to creating it? How do you maintaining it? How is the traffic flowing is? This is very, very necessary, right? As a technical point of view. And suppose you are representing the management, okay? They will not consider this type of things. They are technical, that's good. They're going to understand. But if they are not technical, they will not take care all those what is architecture designing, what is the enterprise architecture is all about. So how is the traffic will be following it? It is going to be created by the network administrator, cloud administrator, and different profile person, right? But as a security manager, right? Are we talking about as a management point of view? We're talking about some technical manager point of view. One profile is the manager. Second profile is technical manager. Difference is between the both things. Okay. The technical manager will know each and everything. What are the technical considerations very important? Like suppose somebody is a technical manager and talking to the client, he will know that what are the considerations, what are the commitment I can gonna doing it. If he understand the technicalities about the cloud computing things, networking or whatever the technologies, I would say that. And suppose one is not technical manager, then he will be depend always on that specific team leader or specific network person or cloud person that hey, he will come to tell what are the things. So I would suggest you should become a technical manager in this season point of view, so that understand all those technical things in depth. However, you're not going to creating it, but you have answerable, you have going to face any challenges same time in the once the client will be asking to you, and then how to flowing the traffic I'm talking about here. So this are all those architecture when once you're gonna creating it, you can say how is the traffic is going to following it, what are the features I'm going to using it, what is the features is going to using it, what is the use case we going to doing it, and how the case studies you're going to be studying. This is very, very necessary point of view. That is why I'm talking about here in CISM, right? We understand some talk of architecture designing the enterprise architecture things. We're going to do basic to advanced things, but yes, this is going to be covered so that you guys understand all those technicalities about the same. Same thing is like we're talking about some COVID point of view, right? We're talking about some ITL things. What is the best things we can doing it, like change management, release management, config management, incident management, and so on there. Like I'm talking about here, like ITL framework point of view. Could you please tell me what is the flow of the traffic? Like first is coming incident management, then the change management, then configuration management, release management. What is comes first and why? Tell me, could you please tell me anyone that what is the flow in the company? How things are working in the ITL perspective? What is the best practices I'm talking about here for the ITL point of view? And IT is very, very important in nowadays in every companies. Not about the security management point of view, but it is applicable everywhere. If the guys don't know what is change management, incident management, change management, then how are we gonna working? The service management I'm talking about here, service delivery management I'm talking about here. You need to understand SLA. You need to understand what is the impact, high, low, medium, what type of impact. Okay, so this is very, very important considerations as a CISM point of view. Like technical manager need to understand all those very, very important things. I would say that ideal point of view. Yes, we will not going to cover the whole things, but yes, the basic to advanced fundamentals we're going to cover so that you guys working in a company and ITL framework, the ITL like the change management point of view, like change versioning. Anyone tell me what is a change version and change control? What is the difference between two things? Change control versus change versioning. Versioning or version, you can say that, whatever. Yes, anyone? Yes, sir. Sachin, anyone try?
Change control, I can give it a try, but I'm not sure because I have not worked much on the change. But see, from an information security perspective, whenever an organization goes through any change, major changes in terms of a network or in terms of any policies or anything, so the uh, change board has to actually come into the picture and check how does it actually impact the organization, right? So they have some controls in place from the information security perspective, and they wanted to also cross check with the information security to see whether how is it how the information security meaning they wanted to see how the risk what all the risks and threats are going to affect if at all they change to something else xyz, so whatever it is. So change version, I've never heard of it.
Okay, no problem, guys. So I'm just talking about some use case, okay, for you can understand very easily both things. And this is very, very important. Okay, we have different software in the market right now. Right now, I can say that Jira, Confluence, if you have work, this is a very good tool for the change control visiting. I would say that ServiceNow is also a great tool for change management, incident management, change versioning, everything. They are the part of it. Okay, the ServiceNow is a good tool. Jira Confluence is a good tool to using all those things. Okay, so I'm just talking about some use case. Suppose a software company like XYZ, a software based company. Okay, based company, and they are creating software for the clients. Okay, software they creating for the clients. I can say that, right? So they have some different department. We have some platform department. Okay, platform department creates the hardware. Okay, hardware, software for the servers. Okay, they're gonna creating it all those hardware. This case like, hey, I required 5 servers, I required 10 servers, I required this type of RAM, I required this type of things. All those platform is gonna creating it. Second thing is the implementation team. Okay, implementation team, they are gonna working on all those okay, the client requirement understanding. Okay, and they're going to implement the software. Okay, software, I would say that they're gonna be creating software, they're going to be frameworks gonna creating it, they're gonna be creating the flow of the things, they're gonna be how this Java things gonna working, all those things they're gonna doing it. Then we have some developer team. Okay, they develop the code. Okay, code of the software, they're gonna creating it. Okay, they're gonna be create applications or code review, code sort of things they're gonna be doing it. And then we have some security team. Okay, they're going to review the security in all those applications. Review security. Okay, and then we have some testing team. Okay, they are testing. Okay, they are manual testing, they're going to automate testing and so on. Yeah, okay, as per the required. Okay, the different softwares in the market right now coming in the same. Okay, they're going to testing the software, you can say that. So what happened in the company, suppose in this company we have, if the change by control and change version is not there, then suppose platform gonna providing this hardware to the implementation team, client requirement, implement all those things. Code developer is recreating coding, and security team is going to review the security, and testing team is testing it. But still we have lots of bugs incoming in the software. Lots of bugs in the software. Okay, the client sending. Okay, because the thing is, if you don't have the implement this the change control, who's going to change at what time? Because if you talking about some DevSecOps teams, okay, development, security, and operation teams, the three teams are working together. They have their accountability, responsibility to, there is no bugs will be coming into the software, I would say that, right? So the client is not going to sending any bugs to the software is all about. So that the three teams are working together to all those bugs will not going to be coming same time. So the one of the key things into the same, hey, change controls, who's going to change in the things. They have some testing has been done or not tested has been done into the environment, and suppose we have one tested all those software things into the same, and then we have to put into the production. So who is going to approving the all those changes into the company? Okay, and what is the rollback plan, I would say that. So if I'm talking about here, wait a second, the change control, how things looks like that. Change management policy template, right? So I would say that, hey, what are the things you're going to consider while you're going to be creating change management point of view here, right? So you should understand all those things. Practical level, very, very important. Hey, what are the document, how to create all those documentation things, and how you're going to doing some change management things, and so on there. So suppose I have some use case, I'm going to providing it. So in the change control, you are just going to create, hey, who is going to approving the change, who's going to change the things, and what are the rollback plan do we have. So like we have one template, you're going to be download this template and then just take it out, all those things. So this is only template, okay, right? You're going to be using in the companies, you're going to make some changes in the same, no problem with the same, but every company has their own change control will be there, right? This is the way. So this is the project name, organizations, and then proposed change, who's going to, then the date, version date, all those things. And then we have some, all those stakeholder one, they have some benefits, approve who's going to adverse effect, what are the effects will be happening it, who are the approve authority, what are the additional comment will be there, then what other resources do we require to doing all those changes will be there. We have new hire, we have promotions, we have some descriptions will be there. We have potential new hires requirement on the same. You can say that additional stream savings, you can costing point, you're going to check it out. So we have descriptions will be check it on the same. So the thing is to understand here that, hey, we need to understand what are the changes, who's going to make changes, what are the rollback plan of the changes, how to effectively make a changes. All those things are very, very important, so that once of one of the this document you're going to be you create and sending to the management, if they're going to approve all those changes, then you're going to make some changes. Okay, so this is the manual way. The second thing, suppose sir, my company is using ServiceNow. ServiceNow is a software where all those changes, who's going to make change, who's going to be not changing it, all those informations you're going to sign, okay, you're going to be providing it, and the same type of documentation will to be created same time, and it is going to step-by-step process will be happening into the company's point of view. So I hope you guys working on ServiceNow. If you guys are not working on the ServiceNow, then I will help you out into the same later on. Okay, this is very common software, right? This is if you're working in enterprise companies, you definitely you're going to working on the ServiceNow sort of things in the companies. I would say that, right? This is I'm talking about here. So it is going to doing some change management, it's going to incident management, it is release management, configuration management. One tool gonna be used for so many different type of things, you can say that, right? So the change control, I think you understand. Then second thing is change versioning. Change version is basically like we have software version 1.1, and after the second release, the version going to be changed, 1.2 version will be there. So it is going to be used in the development security operations department, and it is going to be the companies like software based companies, they're going to creating the software for the different companies for the client purpose. They're going to do some change versioning. Okay, so I think you're aware about Jira, Puppet, Jenkins, all are the different type of software in the DevSecOps environment gonna be using for the change versioning, controlling things, my dear friends. So why I'm talking about all those things, you should have different fields knowledge is very, very important. I would say that if we have different sectors, like you guys are working on the IT industry same time, some of the says I'm working on the hospitality industry. Some of the guys said I'm working in the oil and gas industries. Some of the guys said I'm working in the defense industries. So we have different sectors. We have different type of informations, how to protect it, protection things, how to secure the informations, how to providing the preventive actions on the same. This is what your duty is all about. That is what the CISM is all about. You're going to be understand the objectives of the company and alignment with the governance, hey, with the same time, so that what are the things we're doing it, how to securing, how to preventing it, and what are the organizational objectives we have. This is all those things you're going to doing in the companies for the security manager point of view. So this all those practical things are the part of it we're going to discuss about. And then strategic planning. Okay, we have three types of planning. Can anyone tell me what are the three types of planning in the companies? Strategic planning, operational planning. Anyone tell me what is the other one? And what is the difference between strategic planning? Why do we go strategic planning and operational planning? Which is short term, long term? What anyone tell me what are the difference between the things? I'm just going to provide information more on the same. What is the importance of the planning, my dear friend? Yeah. Yeah. Anyone try? If not, then I'm just going to go forward. Okay, I'm gonna showing it. Wait a second. I'm just opening a slide for you. So this is the CISSP slide. Okay, and in this CISSP, we have talking about some planning there. Yeah, strategic planning, tactical planning, and operational and project planning is all about. Yeah, now tell me guys that what is the difference? Which is most important, which is not important, and which, give me some use case of your experience, I would say that, because you all are coming in the, security manager. So that give me some use case of your company or your experience, sir, strategic planning, tactical planning, or operational and project planning. The difference. Then I will going to make some addition, make some changes on the same time. Anyone? Right.
Strategic planning is the more like from a vision kind of a thing, right? For every company will be having a vision or an objectives that that is planned to meet. So basis that maybe you come up with a strategy.
Yes.
Tactical, maybe more from a mission. What are the things what you would be doing, action points to meet your strategic objectives? And operational and project planning maybe more from like again, not sure, maybe action points or what is it?
Yeah. So
Operation planning is more about how do we achieve the project requirements and things like that. I think it is at a project level. So strategic and tactical are at organizational level, as per my understanding is, as per my understanding. Yeah.
yeah, this is quite right. You're right. You rightly said. Yes. Anyone try? Anyone else? So whatever the planning, guys, we are doing it. We have specific time period. Okay. It's not that we have long time, like 10 years, 15 years, and lifetime planning. No. We have specific time. Every planning have some time. Very important. Because once I was in PMP, project management professional, I was, hey, what is the project planning? First part. The first part of the PMP is project planning, right? But in operation, in like technical fields, we oftenly say, hey, we have some strategic planning, tactical planning, operation plannings, all the things. But operation plannings are the part of PMP, or you can say any technical things. I would say that. Okay. So the other thing is the strategic planning. So 3 to 5 years long, you can say that. Okay. First of all, understand, hey, we have 3 to 5 years long planning. I would say that, and should be stable. Okay. Defines organization's security purpose. Okay. What a security purpose is all about. Must be aligned with the missions, business objective, and goals. So that is what, suppose I am a security manager in the company. Okay. My those responsibilities basically what is the company objective? Okay. Company objective, what is the company goals? My company goals, you can say, sir, my company is going to moving to the cloud after 5 years. All the branches, you can say that. Okay. We have multiple branches in the company, and all those branches, IT infrastructure moving to the cloud. This is my planning. Okay. The strategic planning, the company objectives and goals, I would say that. So once I keep in mind, like, security manager, I know that, hey, after 3 to 5 years, we need to moving to the cloud, right? So what type of planning, strategic planning I can do doing into the same. Okay, so this is stable planning. We require some higher couple of person into the same. We understand the compliances. We need to understand the use case. Hey, what are the things we requirement? We need to understand what are how many number of servers right now we have. We need to understand what are the costing will be there, how to migrate, how to implement into the different country. We have different culture will be there. So in the cloud, we have very easy because we can set one specific location and we can going to create any different locations. We're going to be migrate our cloud same time, right? So this is all about strategic planning, my dear friend. That requires some technologies implementation here. Strategic planning is more about technologies are there. You require to configure installation, maintenance, understanding all those things, and migration things. This long term 3 to 5 years will be there. Like tactical planning, you can say, sir, it is the mid-term 1 year planning, you can say that. So suppose you guys are going to create your KRA or KPI sort of things. Say after 1 year, what exactly things, innovation things you're going doing it, what are the changes you have going to doing it. Okay, so this all those like 1 year planning, like project planning, hiring planning, acquisition plan. So more than more project planning is talking about some tactical planning for the 1 year. That's enough for them. Okay, like next 1 year, what are the programs of the companies we're going to doing it. And this is all the planning, like strategic planning and the technical planning, all are doing by the, you can say, the top management, the like you are a CISM certified person, you're going to doing it this type of planning for your resources, for your company point of view. Okay, because you know what is the goals and objective of the company. That is what is it all about. The third is operational and project planning. Basically, you can say that. So it's a short term, highly detailed plan. You can say that. So the example like resource allotment, staffing arrangements, and scheduling any specific budget, scheduling the timing, scheduling the resources same time. You can say that. So it's more about the operational techniques. Okay. Suppose you have shifts in the company, you want to change the shift of the resources. You can say that. You're going to implement some security policies in the companies. Okay, so all those things are the day-to-day activities will be happen in the project planning point of view. That's called operational and tech project planning is all about.
Sir, I have a small doubt. So, are you trying to walk through what we are having as a syllabus for CISM, or are you or else have we have already started the session? Meaning, I did not understand because you are just walking us through
Yeah,
the part B or the other modules, whatever we have.
yes, Sridhar, because right now we have lots of different type of candidates right now. So I'm just going to walk through all the
Okay,
particular things,
got
right?
it, got it, got it.
So once we have gone to the session, right? So we have all those in-depth things, like I'm overview things, and then we're going to discuss all those in-depth things right away.
Got it, sir.
Right, so that use case studies, practical things, things will be coming same time. This is all those review that, so that you guys have awareness about the things, what you're doing it, why are you doing it, you're comfortable, what is your knowledge area. This is all the things you will keep in mind once, so that, hey, Mahesh sir, we are good to go in the CISM, and then this is good for us. We can go forward into the same. This is all those things, so that I understand your mind, Sridhar, basically, so that where you are right now and what you're going to achieving it. That's what I'm thinking will be good for you. Right. So we have like we're talking about some strategic planning, like we're talking about some governance standards point of view, strategy development point of view, like structures, roles, responsibilities of different profile, I would say that. So all those things overview have done the first governance point of view. The second domain, if you're talking about here, is the risk management. So can you tell me, guys, that what is the certification for risk management from the ISACA?
Serious?
Yes, yes. You're the correct one. Okay. So if the risk management not there, then what happened in the companies? Suppose I'm talking about the risk management. How knowledge do you have? How much knowledge do you have, guys, about the risk management? Like, what is the risk? What is the risk management? What's the risk type? What is the risk assessment? Types of risk? How do you mitigate the risk? How to transfer the risk? What is the risk register? And so on, dear. Whatever knowledge do you have, let me know. I'm just going to be adding some more things into the same.
Decent.
Yeah. Like anything, like you consider risk analysis, how do you doing it? If the evaluation and assessment doing it, and risk treatment, how risk response you're gonna doing it, risk and risk control ownership you're gonna do, risk monitoring and reporting of things you're gonna doing it. So whatever you knowledge about the risk management, let me know. So this is what we know about risk management. These are risk types. These are risk evaluations. This is like quantitative, qualitative type of risk we have. So how comfortable you are into the risk management framework, and that is very important point about the CISM point of view, but it is very important from the IT auditor point of view, because if you find out the risk in the company, then you can going to doing the audit. If you don't find the risk, then there is no audit need to be doing it. Yeah. So Sridhar and Dharinder, Maya, anyone tell me about what are the different type of risk? What are the what you know about the risk is all about? Yes, Sridhar, any answers, guys? Anyone about the risk? Have you ever faced any risk things till the time?
So types of risks are like your physical security risk, a high level, okay, physical security risk, HR security, and TIG security, and operational risk.
Meaning it depends, sir. So meaning we might have a compliance related risk or legal risk, strategic, reputational, operational risk, etc.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. You're right. And how do you, you know what? We have two different type of risk. I would going to create a things. Wait a second. You're just going to provide me some answers over there. I'm just going to showing it. Wait a second.
Yeah, that one. 855, 55th.
Which one?
55, 55th slide. 55. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. This is we talking about. We take on. Wait a second. So before we going to the deeper into risk assessment methodologies. Second. Okay, this is risk management point of view, right? So yeah, this is we talking about here risk. Okay, so this, what do you mean by risk? This is basically possibility of losses. You can say that anything. Okay, you can say possibility of damage happening and ramifications. To an organization, risk can be physical damage, human interactions, equipment ramifications, misuse of data, loss of data, application error. It can be anything, dear. Why I'm talking all those things? Because right now, suppose we are doing risk management. I'm going to correlation between the two different things, three different things. Okay, risk management. The second time we're talking about some BCP. Okay, business continuity planning. We're talking about here. Okay, and then we're talking about some DRP, disaster recovery planning is all about. Okay, in everything right now we're going to do BCP. We require some risk assessment, DRP, DRP disaster recovery planning. We're going to do risk assessment, my dear friends. Okay, so if you understand the risk management correctly, okay, in-depth informations, then you're going to do BCP very well. You're going to do DRP, disaster recovery planning is going to do very well. And BCP and DRP, okay, these are very, very important terms of data center. What do you mean by data center, sir? Suppose you're going to creating a data center in the cloud, okay, or on premises, I would say that, in the company's point of view. So if you need to understand, hey, business continuity planning, how do I run my business without interruptions? If anything goes down, how do I run my business? And disaster recovery point of view, any technical problem can be happen to my devices, my router, my switches, my server, my anything you can say technical devices. So how do I recover? How much time it will take to recover? So MTTR, at the different terms we discuss about. Okay, like we have going to do backup or different things we discuss about once we're going to do some BCP and DRP into the same, and it's a part of the business continuity. Is this this system is a part of the BCP and DRP we discuss about all those in-depth things. So risk management, if you're going to do better things, you understand all those risk management clearly, the BCP and DRP very, very easy for you, right? So suppose I'm a security manager in the company. So I need to understand these questions in my mind. And how do you guys think that what happened? What could happen? What is the threat event? If it is happen, how bad it could be? How often could it happen? How certain are the answers of the first three questions you are? So what can be done? How much it will cost? Is it cost effective solution or not? So these are some questions going to be asked to yourself once you are a security manager in the company, and any disaster will be happen. Any interruption of service can be happen. So there's the risk will be always be there. So if you know those answers, you can easily understand the risk is all about. Okay, then we going move further. So we have talking about some jargons like, hey, what are the assets in the companies? We're talking about some intangible, okay, like we talking about some copyrights, patent, trademarks, all those things. We require some confidentiality, integrity, availability, all those things, vulnerabilities, any software, hardware, procedure weakness in the system. You can say that. So anyone are the part of the vulnerability management, VAPT, have you one done or not till the time? Or threat, what is the threat, potential danger of information systems is all about. So as a security point of view, you should understand what is the vulnerabilities in the companies, weakness in the system, and threat, potential danger in the information systems is all about of the assets. That is why we're going to do asset threat modeling, we're doing it. Okay, we have MITRE ATT&CK frameworks, we have cyber chain, and so on there in the security point of view. So we have asset, vulnerability, threat, and threat agent, risk, exposure. What are the different type of things you can say that? And if you're going to, what are the risk assessment you're going to doing it? We have some steps we're going to do step by step later on, like prepare the assessment, conduct assessment, like, hey, identify the threat and source of the events, identify the vulnerabilities and predicting conditions, determining likelihood of occurrences, determine the magnitude of the impact, and determine the risk is all about. So we have all those the second step, then we have the third step, communication to the results, and then maintain the assessment we're doing it. So once we doing the risk assessment slides, we're going to do in-depth information. We're going to doing it here. Prepare how to prepare on the same. Okay, we have some templates, we have some use cases. We're going to understand how things will be there. And same thing I'm talking about. Hey, sir, I'm doing a business continuity planning. So how do I find out the risk in the companies? How to prepare, how to do assessment on the same. Okay, suppose I would have a question like, hey, if your firewall is not configured properly, what are the risks? How do you do this risk assessment? For the PCI DSS point of view, HIPAA compliance point of view, ISO 27000 point of view, any compliances, I would say that. So this is the question will be going to be asked to yourself. Hey, as a security manager, I need to know what are the challenges, what are the security, how to preventing things. That's what you're doing it. Okay, then we talking about some organizational audit. You have different type of COSO audit, ITL. We discussed things in the once we're doing a training, COBIT, ISO 27000, NIST frameworks. Okay, so on here we have. Okay, then we have some qualitative risk assessment, and then analysis we're talking about here. Qualitative and where quantitative risk is all about. So we have qualitative analysis techniques include judgment, best practices, institution, and exercise. So suppose I would say that any fire and any theft happen, how do you say how much loss on the company? Okay, how do you see this assessment will be happening it? Yes, anyone tell me about the same? So how do I find out the correct costing? How much the loss in the company will be happen? Any fire event happen, any theft things happen, or you can say cyber terrorist attack terrorist attack will be happening it, or you can assume anything like it's a natural disaster, I would say that, right? It's natural disaster will be coming. And how do you know that, hey, this is the predictions, the right prediction of the loss? You cannot do IDFX. Requires some more experienced person, because different people have different idea, I would say that. So we're going to do Delphi technique. We're going to do some brainstorming sessions with different people same time, and we find out, hey, how the things gonna working. Subjective in nature, simulation, situation based on scenario based, no numbers or monetary values we don't have, because we don't know how much loss can be happened here. Subjected to the nature, you can say that. Like we have flood attack happen, we have a tsunami can become, we have some like COVID-19 sort of things come. So we don't assume, hey, in this natural disaster happen, how much loss the things can be happen. Loss of the lives, you can say that. Loss of the people, you can say that, and so on. Real mighty events. So determine the impact and risk. So we have likelihood and consequences. Okay. So this is likelihood, very rare, unlikely, moderate, likely, and almost certain. So suppose I would say you guys are opening a company in Japan. Earthquake condition is high, low, certain, or rare. Can anyone tell me? If you're going to opening a company, if you guys are opening a company in Japan, earthquake can
Almost
become.
certain. Almost certain.
Oh yes, almost certain. You know that is basically this impact as per the risk here. Okay, so this is things you want to be consider in your mind. Hey, how likelihood can be happen, and the consequences you can talk about here. Insignificant, low business, no business impact will be there. Minor impact will be moderate impact will be happen.
It
Loss
is
of
major
confidence.
or catastrophic.
Yes, it's major, high. Okay, we can say catastrophic. Business cannot continue the same year, right? So this is the way you're just going to see, hey, tsunami attack, earthquake happen, or any natural disaster can be happen. So you can likelihood, you can say consequences as per the different type of threat, you can say that. So in the risk management, you are just going to understand, hey, sir, this is the almost certain things, and then the catastrophic or major things will be happen, so that the loss of the companies will be very high same time. So we should always consider this type of things once you're going to creating any data center. This is location, or you can say you're going to opening a company over there. So you're going to do some assessment, risk assessment. You're going to doing it same time very easily. Okay, then we have some qualify the risk. How do you qualify? So we have some skill, we have some ease of access. We talking about here, right? Incentive, we have some resources, we have total. So we have formula. 1 is equal to E, 2 is equal to D, 3 is equal to C, right? You can say high skill required, no skill required, skillful labor's point of view, likelihood you can say that rating can be gonna providing it. ease of access, we easily reach to the same time. Simple, very difficult. Okay, this type of things gonna we going to using some disk register. We're going to create some disk, and then we discuss all those things here. Then determine the impact and risk. Answer that. So same example, I would say that hey, if you're going to opening a company into the Japan location, then you can say, sir, it's a almost certain will be there. Okay, likelihood you can say almost certain, you can say that. So we catastrophic, we have E is equal to 5, likelihood you can say that. So once we're going to do any risk register, in the risk register we're going to find out, hey, how much risk will be there in the same time. We're going to categorize the risk, we're going to impact the risk, and so on there. So this is the way you're going to be impacting, okay, impact and risk. If it's going to impact and how much risk can be happen into the same time, you're just going to be creating into the same. So this is the way, hey, almost certain, unlikely, rare. If you're going to create a company in Delhi or Delhi NCR, the earthquake can be happen, but you can say very rare, or you can say unlikely, you can say sometimes, but very rare, you can say that. So this can be happen like tsunami attack, or you can say terrorist attacks, or you can talking about here, hey, cyber attacks point of view. So it can be possible here. Okay, it can be possible that hey, attack can be happen. But how ready we are right now, this is what is very important. So what are the impact in the company? Okay, so you guys remember we're going to do some impact analysis, you can say that, or cost benefit analysis. We're going to doing it, I would say that. What is the costing, what is the benefit, we're going to doing it. And very important things, I would say, we have some things like capex and opex. Capex and opex. You guys know about capex and operation expenditure or not? Because this is what important into the cost benefit analysis. SIs or cost benefit analysis. Capital expenditure versus the operational expenditure, my dear friends. So what is a capital expenditure? Anyone tell me what is the capital expenditure? And what is the operational expenditure? So capital expenditure is nothing but how much capital you're going to be investing into the same, and how much risk will be there. And operational expenditure, how much operational expenditure, right? Suppose you're going to hire a person to working on the firewall, configure the firewall, or security point of view. So it's operational expenditure, how much expenditure on the operation side, and how much expenditure on the capital side. So capital side, suppose I have to purchase a building for the company, right? So it's all the capital expenditure. You want to purchase a firewall, you want to purchase a server. So all those capital expenditure, my dear friends. So once we're going to do some risk assessment point of view, we are going to do cost benefit analysis, my dear friend. Hi, how much cost we have, how much benefit we're going to getting it. We require some value for money. So why I'm talking about all those things? Because once you are working as a you can say that security manager, this is very important. How do you satisfy the management? You're going to procuring any particular devices in the company. So cost benefit analysis you're going to creating at the same time, right? So this can be happened here. Then we talking about some quantitative risk assessment point of view, analysis point of view. So in this, one formula is going to working into the same, sir. So in this particular, we know that, hey, how much costing will be there, how much loss we have right now. We know that exactly. So can anyone tell me about how much any loss in the company, and how do you find out a quantitative risk assessment? Any examples, any use cases? So I would say here that in this quantitative risk assessment, we know that how much cost will be we have to bear, or you can say how much loss we have already occurred same time. So the thing is right now, the example like, hey, we have a company. Okay, we have some XYZ company. Like we have power outage for 2 hours a day. Okay, then how do you analyze the costing? How much loss we have beared? So we have 8 hours of the company and we have already 2 hours will be lost same time. Okay, so as equal to we have only 6 hours remaining. Wait a second. 6 hours will be remaining. So suppose you are going to providing money to the employees, like we have 50 employees will be in the company, and then you're going to providing 10,000 to everybody. So we have, you can say 1 lakh. Okay, so this is the 1 lakh will be the costing, and you already lost the 2 hours. So 20,000, you know that this is the particular loss you're going to be bearing it per day basis. So you can say, sir, it is almost 80,000 the cost. So this is the 20,000 is the costing for 1 month into 12 month is equal to 2,40,000, right? This is the costing. So you know that, sir, we are 1 year we are already lost 2,40,000 rupees. Okay, in rupees you can say talking about here in rupees same time. So this is the risk in the company. You can say that, sir, we have running company, but we have 2 hours a day. We already lost the timing. So right now we have already in the year 2,40,000 already we have lost in the companies. So what to do right now? This is asked by the management. Okay, like the security manager of the management would like to know how to stop this 2,40,000. Sir, we can go to purchase a UPS, right? And UPS costing, sir, we are approximately 1,60,000 is the costing of the UPS. Or you can say, sir, we can't say, sir, we have 1,50,000 is the costing of the UPS. So we have procured the UPS, install it into the same, so that we have 2,40,000 minus 150. The costing will be there. So this is how much amount we're going to getting it. 90,000 nearby. Okay, so 90,000 rupees we are going to saving it per year, you can say that. So same sort of things as a calculation point of view, you know how much loss we have, how much we're going to be saving it. So we have some, this will be quantity risk will be there. You're going to be doing some analysis as per the same, and then we're going to find out, hey, how much loss we're going to be, we're going to how much saving we're doing it. So same thing is here. Right now we have formula single loss expectancy, exposure factors, annual rate of occurrences, ARO, annual loss expectations, ALE. No one gonna ask you this particular formula, but you have just going to consider how the things gonna working in the company's point of view, right? So this is for ARO. Annual value is the 1 lakh, damage done is 25%, like you can say 25,000 in one year. So 3 years you can say that 25% is 10,000, 25,000, and 75,000 is the same. So I have just going to calculate in a very simple way. This is the calculation you can going to be doing from 1 year point of view. So we have quantity risk and quantity approaches, and we have a qualitative approaches we have, right? So we have results are based on the objective measures. Results are based on the subjective measures. Okay, we have subjective, we have objective measures. We can say that cost and benefit issues are important. Monetary value are not important into the same, right? More complex process mathematical tools are required. Relatively straightforward mathematical tools are not required in the quality. You can say that. mostly performed by the technical and security staff, can be performed by the non-technical and non-security staff as well. So this is the difference, my dear friends, about the same. So we have vulnerabilities can be the human, natural, technical, physical, okay, environmental, and environmental things can be happen. So we have different type of risk. Somebody talking about some operational risk, different type of risk, you can say that. So this is all those very, very important. How to handling the risk is we can say that. How do you handle the risk? Suppose I would say risk appetite, or suppose I would say risk transfer. Can you give me some examples, anyone? Like, sir, this, how do you risk transfer to somebody else?
Insurance.
Yes, correct. Thanks. How to do risk mitigation?
Putting some
Reducing.
controls in place.
Yeah. Risk avoidance?
Risk avoidance.
How do you avoid the risk?
Okay, say for example, if you there are number of accidents on a road, we can actually avoid the we can put a flyover or something like that, or skywalk to for the people to cross over the road, so that we can avoid that particular risk. I'm trying to give it as an example.
No, it is a risk mitigation, dear. Once you do some alternative things, it's risk mitigation things. Risk avoid.
By descoping, not
Yeah.
including that.
Yeah, you're right. Suppose risk avoidance, you know what is the risk, but your negligence will be there. Hey, we don't care. You know that you have open ports into the firewall. You know that any type of cyber attacks can be happen, but still you are enjoying life. Is good. Life is cool now. So you aren't avoiding it. Negligence is of things. Okay, this is the things will be happen. And risk mitigation, yes, you rightly said, Shida, that we come to doing some, alternative things. We can doing it to avoid saving the risk of the company. You can say the risk appetite. Anyone tell me risk appetite?
The level of risk what an organization can accept, meaning which is within their acceptable level. Because sometimes if at all we propose some kind of a controls also, it will be costing more than the actual risk.
Risk acceptance, you accepting the risk, okay? You whatever the risk, I've accepted it.
No, I'm trying to
risk
talk about risk appetite.
Risk appetite, after you doing some mitigation things, whatever the risk are pending, you can say that risk appetite I can doing it.
Yeah, risk appetite is is something what an organization have, meaning what they can bear, how much they can bear.
After you done all those precautions, okay, whatever the precautions in the organization are doing it, but still the risk will be available, okay, risk will still be there. So they're going to risk appetite to consider that. Still they're going to accept the risk and they're going to accept.
No, that is not risk appetite, right? That
risk
is actually what do you call what is the lift? What is that? I'm not getting the actual word. Risk. What is left over?
Residual.
Residual risk.
Residual risk.
That is residual risk.
Yes. Residual risk will be there. Yes. So this all those risk handling things, we will going to do some more and more in-depth things. This is only the overview. How much knowledge do you have? So once you're going to do some, like say, the use cases, okay, like we're going to do some third-party risk management use cases. I suppose I would say, after some times we're going to do some case studies. Okay, after doing all those things, we're going to do some case studies on the same, like risk assessment case studies. We are doing it, so you easily understand what I'm trying to tell you. Like this is information security, governance, and use cases. We're talking about XYZ company have this type of background and all those things they're doing it. So how much, what type of conclusion you want to providing it, what are the outcomes you're going to providing it, and this is all those assignments I'm going to providing to you. Okay, like comprehensive risk management point of view. So risk assessment things, hey, conduct organization-wide risk assessment, identify, prioritize the information security risk, impact and likelihood. Risk mitigation things, plan how you're going to doing it, and continuous monitoring on doing it. And if you have any incident will be happening it, how do you providing the incident response to the company's point of view? Okay, and what would be the outcome gonna be coming same time? Governance point of view, employees awareness point of view, and risk management point of view, and so on here. And then what is the conclusion? So think like you are a security manager in the company, and suppose any sort of attack or any sort of awareness training or whatever the use case coming in front of you. Okay, so how do you going to overcome all those challenges? So we have one of the case studies talking about here is strengthening information security governance in XYZ corporation. Very simple question. Security governance, you're going to be strengthening in the company, information security governance, any XYZ company. So what would you doing it as a, because the same thing is into this we have right now, the security governance. The company has the information security governance is not there, or there is no strength in the companies. So how do you going to strengthen the security governance in the companies? This is the one question going to be coming. So this is the use case, and then we have some XYZ Corporation, a global organization with a diverse business units. You can say that background of the company. The company needs to enhance its information security governance, align the industry-based practices and emerging cyber threats. Leadership acknowledge the comprehensive governance framework and would be protect sensitive data, ensuring regulatory compliances and enhance the overall resilience of the organizations. So there is a big the problem like the threats in the companies. Okay, the modern threats, I would say that. So how they going to saving the sensitive data, ensuring regulatory compliances, and overall resilience of the organizations. So challenges they gonna facing it right now: lack of formal governance structure, limited awareness and understanding. Okay, like employees have very varying levels of awareness of understanding of the information security policies, resulting in the potential risk of non-compliance, inadequate risk assessment processes, inefficient incident response will be there, and what is the objective we're going to getting it, and how much you're going to providing some solution same time there. So this is the use case, and then we discuss about each and everything. Hey, how the things gonna working, how you're going to providing some governance, how you're going to resilience all those things, how the information security going to implementation things, how to going to providing the training to the employees, and so on there. That are very important things, because this is the actual things you are doing it. All those the theoretical books things you can easily understand here. Okay, like I'm talking about all those things as per the books, you can easily understand, sir, like how the things will be there, and then how things point of view, like security concepts point of view, or we can say that privilege as an attacks point of view. That's good. Good to know, good to understand. But actual the thing is, once the challenges coming in front of you as security manager, like governance point of view, security point of view, awareness training point of view, risk management point of view, how do you overcome all those challenges? That is very important, I would say that, into the CISM point of view. Okay, segmentation of duties, criticality of all those things, sensitivity of data. So somebody talking about, so what is sensitive data or what is unsensitive data is all about it. So impact on the size, discourse of the assets, you can say that. We go to getting it. So we talking about some all those use case, and we talking about some case studies, and the practically side, you need to create some reports. You have some templates will be available. You're going to create your own policies. Suppose I'm talking about here right now. Hey, do you please guys create the organization structure of the companies? What is the structure of the companies? Okay, so I'm just going to help it out how to create the structure and what are the organization structure going to help it out. You can go here. Like this one. Organization structure, you can say that, and then how it looks like the structure, and how do you going to create a structure in the company's point of view. So this is something like that, you're gonna understand the structure and what is the main cause of that structure. Okay, the activities performed by the different person. Okay, like top to low level, what are the goals? What are the objectives? What are the roles and responsibilities of the specific company people? Like we have companies, CEO is there, the company CISO, CTO, different profiles will be there. This is senior manager, this is the team leaders, you can say that. So we have structure will be there, organization structure, you can say that. Okay, so what are the organization structure? And then second question, sir, what is the roles and what are the responsibilities? Structures and roles and responsibilities will be there. So you need to understand in-depth information about structure and then roles and responsibilities. So once you going to understand, sir, this is type of roles and structure. So I would say to you, hey, you guys going to go create your company structure. How to create a structure? I'm gonna showing it. Go here and then you have somebody says I don't have any MS Visio, not required. Go to Loci chart. It's a free diagram things you wanna creating it. Go here and then log in with your Gmail ID, and then you need to create your organization structure of your company same time. So this is a step-by-step approach that how the things looks like and how to create and how to justify all those things. So this is the way of practical things we're gonna doing it. And once any issues will be there, then I'm gonna help you out to resolve the issue same time, dear. So this is today's we have discussed about the first thing the first review about the one thing like CISM, the first chapter we discussed about. This is, and then tomorrow we also going to discuss about so many different things. I think not tomorrow, I think day after tomorrow we have another session. You guys going to join, and Sridhar, we have another day after tomorrow 12 p.m. we have session will be available. You can join same time. So guys, if you have any questions, any doubts?
No, thank you, sir.
Thanks everyone. Thanks Devendra, thanks Maya, thanks Sridhar. If you have any doubts, then let me know on the WhatsApp. I'm available at any point of time. And I
Okay.
will be provide the recording things into the portal. I have this as different one of the Google Drive portal will be available so that you can to download all those documents same time. And although I also have the portal will be available. See some recording and documents will be available.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Bye.